All right, welcome to the EIR video, Engineers Inspection Review. This video is really for you, the partner, as a home inspection partner. It's really only for home inspection partners, providing us with your home inspection or property inspection report, where we will then take that and provide your client with a report, kind of a front cover, if you will, that agrees, disagrees, or specifies a conclusion on the home inspection elements that are specific to foundation. So again, you provide us your report. We're going to give you a letter back that says we agree with your findings. We do or do not think that the severity of these things warrants additional work, or it does warrant additional work, and this is the additional work that we think that it warrants. These are so great for two kinds of clients. The first type of client, the ones that are so particular about things, they want an engineer to review it, even though you as the inspector know that the things that you found are not really super substantial for signs of foundation fatigue and failure. You find some minor cracks in the sheetrock and some corner cracks in the foundation, these things that we would consider to be minor. You call them out, and sure enough, you are going to you may want to get an engineer to look at it. We can take that report for a very short turnaround time and a low fee. We can provide an opinion that says, we agree with you. These are not super severe, and we don't think that additional foundation work is necessary. The other type of client that's really good with this is going to be your client that just will not listen. That you tell them, look, an engineer needs to look at this, and they say, nah, it's okay. What we can do is we can provide the validity that an EFE, the engineer's foundation evaluation, with the zip level measurements, tilt and deflection calculations, a repair plan, the full gamut is needed. A client, you don't want to sell a client on something they don't need, clearly, and you want to provide value. But sometimes the client just will not spend more on the engineering than on the home inspection itself. They don't understand that concept. And so it makes sense, but it also can be kind of the stepping stone that you need to get the client over to understanding that, yeah, this foundation is a serious problem, and you're going to have a future issue if you do not look into this now and explore options for how you would fix it. Let's get into the example. This is a EIR example. You'll see the general information at the top that we provide, the client's name, my engineering information required by the board, as we've discussed already in other videos, you as the inspector, and my reviewer. The executive summary has everything you need, which really is this thing in bold that tells you what we determined. This is going to either say, in three kind of larger buckets, typically, you do need work, additional information. We know that you need additional work needed. An EFE is suggested, highly suggested. We would like you to further monitor, or we agree with the findings of the inspection report that the items discovered are minor and no additional work needed. I don't remember the percentage, but it's kind of like, I think it's like 70% of the time we say no additional work is needed. And then probably 10% of the time we say, on average over the years, we've kind of said, okay, look, this rises to the severity that an EFE is warranted, and we do think that you have foundation problems. We can't only go off of visuals, and so we recommend that an EFE be done. The report will have a table here. This table is split between pages. It looks a little uglier, but this is the visual condition report summary table, and this kind of takes all of the comments, deficiency statements from the home inspection report, and throws them in this table that kind of lays out whether they were identified to be a problem and what their severity is from our perspective. We then discuss each one of these things and why we think that the severity is justified. And a lot of times we will indicate that we agree. Like here, this says, we agree with the findings of the inspection report that minor hairline cracks were observed. So we will agree with you. If we disagree with you, don't take it personally. there are certainly some subjective nature to this, and sometimes we err on the side of being cautious. Sometimes we just don't think that what you called severe is severe. That's certainly something we say, or something that you found to be either you don't put a determination of severity on it. We may say, yeah, this actually looks like it is a problem. Think of it as a liability too. Like if you say something is not severe and we say that it is severe, then we're taking on the liability away from you that there's a problem here. And so even if we disagree, I wouldn't take it too personally. If interviews are around, we'd like you to document that an interview was done. An interview is kind of an aggressive word for just if the seller's there, say, hey, do you know of any foundation problems that are going on with this house? And then document those foundation problems if they exist. If there's a seller's disclosure form on the kitchen countertop, take a picture of it. Things like this are considered pertinent documents. Number 4, and interview questions. Number 3, that we want to use in our full assessment. And as of course, this last one, visual discovery of previous foundation work in this table. If you find previous foundation work, evidence of it, we want you to document that and indicate that here. The conclusion here will be a longer form of the executive summary above. It will go into the details of why or why not we think you need or don't need additional work done on the foundation. And then we have limitations, our liability language, and then our seal. We do attach the inspection report here. So we'll attach the inspection report. We do that because we want to document exactly what we used to drive our opinion. And that is the EIR. To push that over into the app, what you're going to do is add a project. 31. I'll use my address. Oh, I don't know what that is. And create project. And then you're going to add the service EIR. You will see it's real simple because we don't require you do anything in the app other than provide us with the property inspection report. And you'll notice a little star here that says we need it. And if you want to just click upload and just upload, I'll just upload something real quick. This submit button will turn orange saying we have everything we need. If you want to add, and we recommend obviously that if you want to add documents like the seller's disclosure that talks about foundation, or other documents like foundation plans or interview related information, or whatever you want to add that would help us to determine whether or not we think more foundation work is necessary, we want you to add it here, and now is the time. Don't submit this to us, let us derive a conclusion, and then you go, oh wait, I have all this foundation related information for you to consider. So now is the time to upload it. Hit submit. It will, if you click back, it'll say it's submitted, and then it will click under EIR. It will show under review. EIR turnaround time is 1 business day from the time that this is submitted. And I do really quickly want to talk about, so that's how to do it in the app. I do want to talk about the problem with an EIR and how you kind of work around that. The problem with the EIR is that you tell the client an engineer will review it, and in the case where it's a severe problem, you've now told the client to spend money on something that now I'm telling them they need to spend even more money. And so the only issues that we've had are when clients are not willing to fork over the dollars to do it right the first time, or take the recommendation from you, the inspector, that there's enough here to warrant a full EFE. And so then they get an EIR, I get the EIR issued. It says, dude, your foundation is shot. You really need to get elevations done so that we can localize a specific fix for your problem. The costs associated with it. You can bring it up to the seller. It's not this doom and gloom problem. And then we give you that, and now you're upset because we added a couple $100 to the whole process. The inspector has to go back out in the field. So just knowing this is really good information. you need to be able to explain the possibility of that happening to the client. They're sometimes okay with it. If you want to save them some dollars, you may tack on another $50 and you do the elevations and the floor plan scan, because you as the inspector that Phil's probably going to come back on this one as it being very severe. You can do the field work for free. You can do, you sell an EIR at a good price, and you might want to take the elevations and the Kubi Casa and not tack that on to the client. And then if they say ultimately, yeah, they want to do the EFE, you can charge a price that really doesn't include going back out in the field. Maybe you discount the EIR price. The benefit of using Noble is that we have our prices, and they're flat, and they are what they are, and you can sell it for whatever you want. You can package it for whatever you want. You are selling your field, what you're doing in the field as the time it takes to provide us with the information. And so you're selling our prices are set, and you're selling what your prices are. So take all that into consideration when you're selling EFEs and you're figuring out what to market the client for, what to do for the client, because the EFE has its place. It also can cause there to be another step in the process of getting to the final answer, which is the EFE, the elevation foundation evaluation, which will actually calculate and do and perform full analysis for the client without kind of having to step around. Well, there's this and there's that. Anyways, yeah, appreciate you. Thanks. Bye-bye.